Corrupt cops, I'll kill your dog. Oh man, you know, as soon as I saw this horrific video, I just knew I had to cover it. I actually got really angry at this one. Instantly, my palms got sweaty, I was all hyped up relaying it to my fiancé. I just grabbed my notepad and started writing this. So I didn't really do that much research first, so please bear with me with how this all flows. Okay, we're going to get straight into the video and talk about it afterwards. So big warning here that this is extremely distressing from the offset. But as far as I'm aware, no animals were harmed. Shame we can't say the same for the humans. This one happened on August the 30th of 2022 around 4 AM in Columbia County, Arkansas, in the US of A, people. So here we have two of the Columbia County deputies, and they are responding to a 911 call of a domestic dispute at this property. But that's not what they will be disputing about by the end of this. Let's jump straight into this crazy video. Distressing footage and bad language. This is a non-profit educational video.
Huh? Nah, she not. Nah, she ain't. She got some dogs in there too somewhere. Get it, hey. That's close, buddy. Yeah. Bunch of dogs in the house. Get back! Get your dog! I'll kill him! Get your dog! You better get that! Get your dog! I'll kill him! You better get your house! Get back! You better get back! I'll kill him! Get back! Get back! I shot who? Get in here! Get in here! I didn't shoot her.
Yes, you did.
This is who you call, Tina.
Oh my God! Call it. He shot my head. God!
I didn't shoot her. I shot the dog.
Let me see what.
He shot me.
Where?
Right here. He shot me.
Where?
You like?
Oh, man, I just got a back surgery.
I think that dog scratched you.
The dog. I didn't shoot her.
He
I shot the dog.
Look,
I felt it hit me.
listen, calm down,
Listen.
Tina. Calm down. You get a little scratch on your leg. You want me to help you get up?
I'm paralyzed.
You want me to help you get up?
No, I'm scared of y'all.
Don't be scared of me.
You get off my property.
I didn't shoot you. I shot
You
the dog.
shot me.
Your dog tried to attack me. I shot the dog. I got everything on camera. I got everything on camera.
Man.
Good, because you're going to need it.
Yeah, we are.
Leave me in.
Let me help you up.
Call the ambulance.
Get a little scratch.
Send the ambulance this way.
He shot me.
You're like a dog, guys. Don't lie.
No dog didn't get me.
I I didn't shoot you.
You're
I shot at the dog.
why you hit me, dog?
I didn't shoot at you. Control your dog. We come out here.
Hey, go ahead and call Donnie.
Okay, now genuinely, where the fuck do I start with this one? There's a lot to cover here, in this horrifying encounter with these deputies, who were called to help people, and within seconds, one officer managed to cause complete and utter fear amongst everyone present. Look man, if you're that scared of dogs, I reckon you should consider your life choices, giving a humongous amount of people own them. Places where you shall be responding to. It's actually ridiculous that he is that scared of them, yet believes he can safely execute responding to any call to a property. Crazy, in fact. I mean, it's outrageously clear that he is afraid. There's no disputing that for me. And his decision making in this situation was just grossly poor, and an embarrassment to law enforcement. They were there to potentially save lives, and instead, in minutes of arrival, this poor woman receives a bullet in return. Wow. So, let's go over this sickening footage to see just how incompetent this Columbia County deputy really was. Well, as you can see here, for one, he stands way back and lets the fellow officer make first encounter. Not really backing him up, is he, over there? Clearly very afraid of the doggies. Anyway, the very initial interaction with the dogs, who live at this property, yes, it's their property too, is with the deputy up front. And it's pleasant, the dog's doing its job of defending and protecting its property and owners, simply coming out for the sniff test. All seems fine. Now, doggy number 2 does come out a bit bolshy, yes, but it's probably just the more mouthier of the two, and just does what dogs do and barks. Probably just saying, "Who's there?" Woof woof. I mean, my dog can sound terrifying when like someone knocks on the door, but she'd probably just lick them to death, really. But this cop is so goddamn afraid that within only 4 seconds of him first seeing the quieter dog that came out to see what was going on, the words "I'll kill it" in the most threatening manner had already left his lips. After already shouting, "Get back, get your dog." Listen, pal, the dogs are just doing their job here. They've not attacked you, and you're just being a straight-up wimp here, honestly. First of all, that's a member of their family. You've been called to help them, and within seconds of arrival, no threat towards him made, he is already straight-up threatened to kill one of them. And look at the other guy. He's fine. He's chilling. Know why? He ain't afraid of no damn dog. He senses no danger, because there is none. The only danger that should be at this property would be the people that were called for in the first place. Then it seems he fires a pretty careless, I guess somewhat warning shot off for these dogs, and his fellow officer looks in dismay like, what was the fucking point in that, you idiot? Agree. He then continues to shout, "I'll kill it, and get your damn dog." He's causing absolute mayhem here, giving the owners no chance or time at all to get out and contain the dogs. Meanwhile, the other officer, still calm, still up front, still right by the dogs, and still not feeling scared or threatened. But this man's tone is extremely threatening. Like, is he actually trying to hype these dogs up so they do attack? And so he can be justified, in his words, to kill it? We get it, man's scared of dogs. Well, maybe man should have stayed in the car, or better yet at home, and chosen a different job, as he clearly can't perform adequately and think properly just because a four-legged friend appeared. It's like he just lost all control at the start of it. And we've still not seen the homeowner properly assess the situation or helped anyone. I mean, where'd you come, officer? Reckless. He then follows all of this with instantly letting off one of the most negligent discharges I've ever witnessed in almost complete darkness, and appears to shoot an innocent lady from the very property that called them for help. What the actual fuck was he thinking here? He's majorly lucky he didn't shoot his officer buddy, who is still right there. So we can see from the badge cam just how poor the lighting is at this location. The officer obviously had no clear line of sight. He's just popping off. So negligent, it's unbelievable. He even proves this point by next saying this line or question. I shot who?
I shot who? Get in here.
He didn't even know who or where he'd shot at. He really didn't. And before I even tried to slow this footage down to see, it does look to me as if he's aiming straight at that lady as he shoots, not the dog that's actually coming towards him. Real bad aiming and judgment here. Then we hear a female say, "You shot my aunt. You shot my aunt." Aunt, I can't say it like that. I'm sorry, I can't do an American accent. He even answers, "I didn't shoot her. Buddy, you've got no fucking clue who you shot. Face it." Ugh. Another thing that gets me here is just how long it takes either deputy to make a call for medical help. I will work that out and put it up on the screen, as to me, considering he just shot an innocent civilian, it felt a long ass time before he called for medical. Just too busy disputing who and if he shot this lady. Disgusting behaviour. The woman, I believe, then claims she just had back surgery, or some kind of surgery. And instead of immediately just apologising for his incompetent actions and shooting her, he starts to shout back at her that he didn't. I found this incredibly disturbing, I'm not gonna lie. Oh yeah, and then they tell her to calm down. Holy shit. The way she won't even let the officer help her up because she claimed she was so scared of them. Damn right, I would be too. One of them just completely, unwarrantedly shot you and then argued and shouted about it. Trust down the hole. This was hard for me to watch. When the lady tells the dog-hating cop to get off her property, agreed, he still wants to argue that he had shot the dog as she's fucking crawling away. What a scumbag. Saying it's all on camera. Yeah, we see that. Exactly for what it is. Well, some of us. Holy crap, it seems it takes her crawling back inside and yelling to call for an ambulance for these cops to even think for that call out to send for EMS for the woman he just shot. Just terrible in every way. I'm also going to try and count how many times that cop says, "I didn't shoot you," or, "I shot the dog," as it's a lot. Oh, and the woman was hit in the leg, by the way. Right from the beginning, a 911 call for a domestic dispute is always the most dangerous call out. So the officers must have their wits about them, but not because of the dogs. The dogs do not pose the threat here. Man, we don't even know what started all of this, because Officer Dramatic over here just completely stole the show. Now, they're scared of the police. Well done, sir. Good job, old chap. Plus, you guys, these weren't big, aggressive Rottweilers charging towards him in attack mode. And even then, a swift kick to the face. The OC spray they use, like how us British know more as pepper spray. Or even, at most, a taser. But lethal force in a situation like this, when a couple of dogs are just doing as they do, answering the door and checking these people out, is to me so unacceptable. What do you think? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. This officer, if he was that thoroughly scared, he could have just kicked the dog. Why on earth would you raise your gun to an animal that really is not aggressive, just being a dog? Way too over the top. I'm sure he also has some sort of OC or pepper spray on him, but either way, none were needed in this situation, and you can never take back ending a life. It angers me so damn much, because my dog isn't just a pet, she is a member of my family, she's my baby. I can't have my own children due to multiple conditions, leaving me unable to raise a child as I need constant help and assistance myself, so ever holding a gun to my baby would be the worst decision he ever made, I promise. So in my opinion, this use of force was wholly unjustified in this situation, leaving a person who actually called them for help receiving an injury not good. The fact he felt arguing with the woman he shot was more important than even attempting or bloody thinking about calling for medical or helping in any way. That truly sickened me, guys. And her crawling off alone, ugh. Now, get this. So this deputy, Brian Williams, was investigated by the Sheriff's Department, and what do you know? He was found to be within policy for what he did that night. Even worse, his application to the ATF was recently approved, or was at some point approved. The ATF is a law enforcement agency in the United States Department of Justice that enforces federal laws and regulations related to alcohol, tobacco, arson, explosives, and firearms. So this man, who was sent to a domestic call-out and within seconds threatened to kill the dog, and then attempted to, but so incredibly negligently that not only could he have hit his fellow officer that night, but he hit nowhere near the dog, injuring this lady in the process. You mean he was accepted for the fucking ATF? Oh wow. Does he even understand basic firearm safety? Words fail me. They really do. I mean, I'm British, I've never used a gun, but I've seen enough programs, enough situations to know that you just don't fire off like this in this situation. All these people around his fellow officer, it's just ridiculous. And words also fail me how he wasn't even punished for what he did that night by the sheriff's office, but instead pushed higher up the ranks. Jesus. Apparently, the ATF's mission is to reduce violent crime, lols, protect the public, major lols, and collect revenue. Sure. They also work with other federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies to, amongst other things, prevent and suppress crime and violence, and provide training programs. Well, I wouldn't be trusting him with anything. Never mind training people with firearms, etc. Also, prevent and suppress crime and violence. What a joke that is. This whole thing is. Anyway, to finish off on a higher note, this lady, who indeed did get injured that night, has in fact filed a lawsuit, and I believe and hope she gets paid the big bucks for this. I really do. If I'm right, her name is Tina Height, and the dog-hating cop is named Brian Williams, so good luck with that, Brian. Just before we fully finish, just listen to Mr. Brian Williams accuse the dog of scratching Mrs. Height to, I'm guessing, his superior, when he knows full well what happened. He claimed this twice to two different people, trying to back himself up that night. Pathetic. He knows he's done wrong.
Control your dog. We come out here.
Hey, go ahead and call Donnie.
Hey, come on out, man. I shot at that dog, and the lady said I shot her in the leg, but I think the dog scratched her. She opened the door and the dog came out, started running. I gotta get some camera. Started running toward me, started trying to attack me. I shot at one dog. She said I shot her, but I didn't shoot her. The dog scratched her or something. I don't know. That lady that cussed us out, that height lady in Village, the lady that cussed us out, that height lady. All right, I got you. All right, bye. Come on out, man. Come on out there. You with this, but I think it's in Village. Well, she sent her dogs out. And they started running toward me, both of them. They ran past Kip and started running toward me, and I shot the dog. And I think the dog scratched her. She said I shot her, but just come on out and make sure everything cool. Yeah, Donnie coming out too. Yeah, I shot the dog. I didn't shoot at her. I didn't shoot her. Whatever say. She got a little scratch on the leg from the dog. The same lady that cussed me down there, that height lady. Cussed me down there one night.
See how he was just trying to put all of the blame on the dogs there? Saying that they scratched them. Like they're not going to find the bullet fragments or anything there. Whilst also berating Mrs. Height, claiming she cusses them out or something. He's scrambling here, and that's because he knows he was grossly negligent. Mrs. Height had never been shot before, and was incredibly terrified about the whole encounter. And has had lasting effects. A year on, and the bullet was still lodged in her leg. So did the damn dog do that then, Brian? Tina said she's nervous to call the police ever again, and can you blame her, guys? She wisely said how she called them for protection, and instead was the victim. So true. She has, or had, an attorney named Mr. Trey Kitchens fighting for her justice, and he seemed to feel really strongly about it too. He was also seeking justice for another sheriff of the Columbia County for not training him appropriately. But remember, he's been accepted for the ATF. Crazy. Mr. Kitchens said how he wanted to take Deputy Brian off the streets, saying, anyone who's seen that video knows that gentleman shouldn't even be a dog catcher, much less be carrying a firearm, squeezing off rounds. He's so incredibly right. Don't you think, guys? Oh no. I've been doing my research and found an update on this case. Basically the whole lawsuit. I got so dizzy and confused after reading as much as I could that by the conclusion I was unable to read and understand it fully, so I've included the conclusion here in my video for you. The update seems to be from the 27th of August 2024, with Tina Height seen here as the plaintiff against both Deputy Brian Williams and Sheriff Mike Lowe, who are both from the Columbia County Sheriff's Department. Mike Lowe being who the attorney mentioned before as training Brian poorly or inappropriately. I had to ask Matt to help me understand the conclusion in the lawsuit, mainly as I wasn't feeling great by this point, but also as I was shocked at what I believed I was reading. But unfortunately, it seems that everyone and every part they played was completely dismissed in this case. And I think Tina didn't even receive that tiny amount of $1,983. I don't know where they come up with that sum from, but considering the bullet or fragments remained in her leg a year later, I can imagine she had a fair few medical bills and suffering after this. And that amount would have just scratched the surface. But it seems they deemed she did not even deserve that in compensation after being shot by an officer for no reason, whom she called for help. Shocking and disgusting if you ask me. But again, I would love to know your thoughts on the whole encounter. Do you believe this man should be behind a firearm and responding to various homes if that afraid of dogs? Do you think he should have been punished in some way? Maybe not. I don't know. You tell me. And do you think Tina deserved that money for what she went through on that night in August of 2022? Thank you all ever so much for joining me here. Please drop me a like if you enjoyed this episode, comment and subscribe for more. Much love to all of you, and please stay safe out there. Random Jan.